Good evening and welcome to another weekly live stream, guys. It is Friday night. It is 7 p.m. and that can only mean one thing. Time for our weekly 1 hour live stream. We are midway through the best month of the year, October, leading up to our favorite holiday of the year, Halloween. Wolf, what is up, my friend? Wolf says, I have returned. I know. Well, I'm definitely glad to see you back. How things been going? I know you're real big into the Transformers lately. Glad to see you back with us. We don't have any ships on the shelf this week. Got my Halloween decorations right there. Ships will return, of course, in a little while after well, maybe next week. I might put them back on the shelf next week, I'm thinking. But anyway, we got a few things to get into before we get into footage and all that stuff. So let me pull up what we're going to be looking at to start off with. Karen's here. Hi, Karen. Welcome. And let's see. Yeah, technically, Queen Mary could go on the horror shelf. Well, she was a few weeks ago when we did the ghosts of the Queen Mary. All right, so here we go. I kind of like this window better. Yeah, so I know you missed that one, Wolf, but of course the replay is on the channel. Steve came on and we did an episode of Ghosts of the Queen Mary. And that was a lot of fun to do. If you've not seen the replay, go back and watch that replay. Steve is here. Welcome, Steve. You had a pretty cool live stream there earlier, Steve. I'd like to see more stuff like that from you. By the way, guys, I mentioned this in the Discord earlier. I may or may not go live tomorrow on location. I am going to be at the Rougarou Festival tomorrow. So I might go live from there. Wolf says I'll definitely give it a watch when I can. Yeah, Wolf, lots of info in there. We talked about kind of debunked, the fictional stories, and Steve educated us on the real ghost stories of the ship, talked about some experiences that he had on the ship. Steve says, where have you been, Wolf? That's a good question. Where have you been, Wolf? We've been wondering about you. So we're going to kick things off with the big USS United States. Steve, I know you watched this last Saturday, as did I. There was a live stream on the Big U's Facebook page where they officially handed over ownership, and that being the SS United States Conservancy, has officially handed over ownership of the Big U to Okaloosa County in Florida. So they are now the legal owners of the SS United States. Wolf says, pretty busy and been too tired to have been on the streams. Well, Wolf, I don't know if you saw the announcement in Discord last night, but there's one coming up that you definitely do not want to miss. So yeah, Okaloosa County, official owners of the SS United States. Aaron says she looked really sad when she signed the document, referring to Susan Gibbs. Hell, I was really sad when she signed over the documents, and not exactly something that I wanted to see either. Well, if we're being honest, none of us really wanted to see that. But the good news is, as we know, as part of this agreement, certain parts of the ship are going to be saved. The ship is not going to be sunk in its entirety. We know at least one of the funnels and the radar mast are going to be removed and put to use for the land-based museum that is going to be on shore in Okaloosa County. Wolf, I'm definitely not going to watch the footage of the old girl sinking. I haven't decided about that, Wolf. I won't know how I feel about that until the time comes. Steve, I have friends already discussing the idea of chartering a boat and follow her out of the Delaware when that happens. That would be some amazing footage, Steve. Mark and Max are here. What's up, guys? Welcome to the stream. We're talking about the Big U and how Okaloosa County is now the official legal owners of the ship. From what I have read, supposedly the ship is going to be leaving Philly sometime in December, and she's going to be making a pit stop in Norfolk, Virginia, and basically she's going to go undergo some prep. Now, there is some talk, and I don't know how true this stuff is going to be, but they might on a very limited basis, like, let people see the ship. Now, I don't know if you can like go on the ship or anything like that. I don't remember all the details, but if there's any way they will let people see the ship, even just up close, I will definitely try my best to try and get out there. Steve says that will be like a 1-year pit stop. Really? 1 year? I would not have expected it to go on that long. Steve also says, yeah, I heard the same rumor. I hope it's true. Likewise. Buddy, welcome to the stream. How has your week been, my friend? Hope everything is going well for you. Let's see. Let me get out of something real quick there. I keep forgetting I'm using this new streaming software, so I don't really have to read the chat on my off of my phone anymore. I have it on my PC now. So that's what's going on with the Big U, guys. Hell, like I said, if it's going to be a year, as long as it's somewhere where you can at least see it or get kind of up close to it, like you currently can in Philly, I would strongly consider. Oh, and my light just went out. I would strongly consider making a trip to Virginia to try and check out the ship. I got to figure out why this light went out. Like it went out completely. Let's see. Huh. Well, I don't look. Do I look that dark? No, I don't look that. This looks okay. I think we can manage like this. My ring light around the camera just completely went out. Let's see. Wolf says would be cool if they could take the 2 funnels and the mast and make the museum of her a recreation of her superstructure. Yeah, definitely. I'm all for that. And like I said, at one funnel, they said one funnel and the forward radar mast for sure are coming off, and that's going to be in the museum. I'm hoping for both funnels. Will says I would love to see her in person, but probably won't happen, at least above water. And not below water either, Wolf, unless you want to learn how to scuba dive. Buddy says, how deep? Okay, everybody says the stream still looks fine. Okay, good. I appreciate you guys letting me know. Buddy wants to know, let's put his comment up here. How deep are they going to sink her? Well, right now, the word is 180 feet of water is where she's going to be sunk. They have to remove the funnels and the mast in order for her to sit comfortably in that depth. So, Mark says 4 miles deep. No, Mark, I don't think it's going to be that deep. I'm fairly soon. No, definitely not 4 miles deep because Titanic is 2.5 miles deep. So definitely not 4 miles deep. Steve says, "Oh, rip my drinking glass. I accidentally left it atop the cart when I drove away. Whoops." Yeah, back to solo cups. Yeah, you need some good old fashioned Dixie cups, Steve. Yes, 180 feet. She's currently 195 feet keel to funnel. I thought it was 175 feet, Steve. Are you sure about that? I mean, it's only 20 feet difference, but still. Buddy says, "I'm gonna miss her." We're all gonna miss her, buddy. But like I said, if I can possibly make it to Virginia, only if the ship is if they make it accessible in some way to the public, would I go see it? Mark says 175 is the Olympic class. Yeah, but I think the Big U is 175 as well. Well, I tell you what, we all have the internet. How about we just look it up here? Bear with me a sec, guys. SS United States. Let's see. Let's just go to the wiki real quick. Looking for height 175 feet from keel to funnel, assuming that Wikipedia is correct. Well, she sure is a pretty vessel. Oh, she can at least rest peacefully at the bottom. She will, Wolf, and she's going to bring new life to that area. As we know, that's the silver lining. Ships crew are, she's going to do exactly what she's intended to do. She's going to be an artificial reef. You're going to have a whole new influx of marine life in that area. So, she's going down, but she's going down with the intent to create life in that area, and that's what she's going to do. Karen says, "This is so sad that they are going to do this to this ship." Well, we are certainly all in agreement of that. Buddy says, "They need to make Olympic 2. I don't think we're ever going to see an Olympic 2, buddy. As cool as that would be, I don't think that's going to happen. But that's what we've got on the Big U, guys. Let's see. Aaron says the top deck of the ship will be at a depth of about 60 feet, making it accessible to divers of various skill levels, which would be a great idea. Mark says, make a Britannic 4. Yes, because there were, in fact, 3 Britannics. Of course, we all think of, the Olympic class Britannic because she's without a doubt the most famous of those 3. Steve says, even one funnel is preserved to be a part of the new museum, I am looking forward to that. It's definitely one. They've said as much already, that one for sure is going to be preserved along with this right here, the radar mast. Those are definitely going to be preserved. So we're going to go ahead and pivot to something else here real quick. Let me see. We've got some other news to go through. Let's see. Let me pull it up here. And we've got some more not negative news, guys. Be the best way I can put it. There we go. A ship that we know is going to be completely fine right here. USS Kidd, guys. DD 661. Actually, let's fix this up to like so. Well, finally some good news. Oh, yes. Did you guys see the big announcement on the Discord last night and on the channel, the live stream that is scheduled for a few weeks from now? Mark says, concerning the Big U, amazing how much stuff is still on the ship, all the mechanical stuff. Yep. Buddy says, love USS Kidd. Aaron, DD 661. USS Kidd, best of the Fletchers, Wolf says. We're going to highlight that one. So, guys, I know not everyone is on the Discord, but most of you are. Big announcement. And I put it on the, I scheduled that live stream today on the, or last night on the channel. Matt's here. What's up, Matt? You just missed our news on the SS United States, but you're just in time for us to talk about the USS Kidd. So, guys, I've been working on something for a few weeks, and I can now, I got the blessing from the man himself that I can announce it. And I scheduled the live stream again. Mr. Tim Nesmith, he is the Ship Superintendent and Education Outreach Coordinator at the USS Kidd Veterans Museum. He is going to be coming on to our live stream a few weeks from now, Friday, November 1st, 7 o'clock, our usual time. And he is going to join us for our stream and tell us all about the Kidd. What's going on at the museum? What's going on with the dry docking? As much stuff as he can share with us, of course. And we're gonna have a blast with that, guys. I am so excited for that. Like I said, I've been talking with him for a few weeks, and he's a very busy guy. So that's the day that he's available, and everything's going to work out to where we can have him on the stream. And Wolf says I'm definitely going to be there. Absolutely. And you guys see, I have the website. That is the official website for the USS Kidd Veterans Museum right there, usskidd.com. If anybody would like to go and make a donation to the museum is a nonprofit. So any donations, especially right now in this time where the dry docking is going on, I'm sure they would greatly appreciate it. Let's see, Steve. I will be there for sure. Aaron, I have turned on notifications. Guys, yeah, I'm so excited for this. I know it's going to be amazing. But this is something else that's going on at the museum itself. I wanted to share with you guys. The first ever Captain Kidd's Pirate Prom. It's going to be an event going on at the museum. You can see pirate costumes, a live DJ, a treasure hunt, pillory photos, cash bar, dinner buffet, rum tasting. Hey, Steve, you might need to be here for that. Proceeds go to the Louisiana Veterans Museum Foundation. Tickets on sale at usskidd.com. Saturday, November 21st, or excuse me, November 2nd. So that's actually the day after Tim will be joining us for the live stream, the very next day. Steve, rum tasting? Yes, sir, Steve, rum tasting. No one under 21 admitted. Drink and plunder responsibly, of course. Which coincidentally, I'm actually planning to be in Baton Rouge that day for a different event. I do not know, Steve, is this going to be held aboard the ship? No, Steve, this will be at the museum itself in Baton Rouge. Of course, as we know, the ship itself is in dry dock in Houma, so it won't be on the ship itself. Buddy, you gotta love Louisiana and the USS Kidd, right? Absolutely. And what better way than to have a Louisiana Saturday night than right there at the Kidd Museum in Baton Rouge? Yeah, they probably don't want you drinking on the ship because remember, the ship is on the banks of the Mississippi, somebody might get a little too drunk, kind of lean over a bit too much. And, it's best probably to not have anyone do that. Wolf says USS Kidd is the best. Can't wait to visit her someday. Wolf, you will not be disappointed, my friend. Steve says, "Damn, I want to come out here for that." Steve, if you come out here, I will attempt to be there. But of course, now the only downside to that is, of course, you can't see the ship. But hey, who says you can't come back again? You know, at some point when the ship is back from dry dock. Aaron, falling into the Mississippi River is a good story to tell later. Well, I don't know if the person who actually does the falling into the river is going to be around much longer to tell the story. This guy's right here. This is an actual photo that I took of the ship a few years ago, when the ship was, or when the water levels in the river were extraordinarily high. She is in Baton Rouge for this photo, of course. I just, you know, I worked some Photoshop magic, and that's how I got her to look like she's like somewhat in the ocean. Steve, alcohol, floating dry docks, and gangways don't mix. Very, very true. Matt, it's only a good story if you make it out of the river, and chances are you're probably not. So that's not a good idea. Wolf says, great angle of her. Yep. This was a few years ago, and there's one more I thought I would show you guys. This is actually the thumbnail for my most popular or my most watched video on the channel. Buddy says, I live too far from Louisiana, but have fun. Well, if you ever get a chance to come down, buddy, do that. Because don't forget, you know, there's also the National World War II Museum. If you come in like the fall of next year, if you're big into football, an experience at Tiger Stadium cannot be beat. Let's see. Steve says, is that blade 3 or 4? This I don't know the exact number, Steve. This is the starboard side of the ship. I actually walked completely around the ship when I did this, and yeah, Wolf says, I remember watching that video last year. It was a sunken ship, a little bit upriver, and you can it's close enough to where you can walk from Kidd. There's an old boat. What's left of it is essentially just like the hull that's left. It was like a little ferry called the Brook Hill that sunk in 1915, right there on the banks of the river. And the river got low enough to where that ship was the remnants of the ship were out of water. Yeah, Wolf says, wasn't the sunken ship a ferry? Yes, she was. Yeah. Yeah, they are 3. I'm sorry, Steve. I misunderstood what you were asking me. Yeah, they are. The Kidd is 3-bladed on both sides. I'm sorry, I misunderstood your question. But going back to the Brook Hill, I went out there to do a video of that, and I don't live in Baton Rouge. I don't live far from Baton Rouge, but I had never seen the Kidd that much out of the water. So that was the first time experience for me as well. So I decided to include that in the video. And like I said, I walked completely around the ship. And I took this with my GoPro. You can't see it, but in my right hand, I've got a trigger for my GoPro. I set it up from this angle, posed myself, shot the picture. Buddies, I knew a ship sank in the bank. Yep, it was the Brook Hill. And that is the most viewed video I have on my channel, period. 98,000 views, I believe. So let's go ahead and pivot over to some other stuff here. Let me reset up things, guys. Yeah, if you guys ever get to make it to the museum, you will not regret it. I can promise you that. And if you give me enough advance notice that you're coming out here, maybe we can arrange a meetup one day. And let's see. I'm just looking for our next stuff, guys. Just bear with me here for a minute. Here we go. Right here. And we're just going to watch some footage for the rest of the stream. There we go. Gonna take a look at one of our all-time favorite ships right here. That's how we're gonna start off. Steve, I need to do an east-southeast museum ship trip. You most certainly do, Steve. Alabama, North Carolina, Kidd, plus a few others. Well, don't forget, Steve, if you're going to make the trip to Baton Rouge, you might as well drive about 5 hours further west and check out Texas and the Galveston Naval Museum, which has the Stewart and the Cavala over there as well. So really, you've got, you know, if I were you, Buddy says Titanic. Nope, Buddy, this is not Titanic. This is not Titanic. So you could really start off like, say you start off in Galveston. You could visit the Texas. You could visit the Galveston Naval Museum and head east. Stop in Baton Rouge, see the Kidd, and then travel further east a few hours away and see the Alabama. Yes, Mark. Olympic. This is Olympic. Old Reliable. Steve, old chorus. Aaron says, let me know, Steve. I am down. Buddy said, Buddy, no worries, dude. No worries. That ain't nothing. I mean, from that very first angle, it was kind of hard to tell that it's Olympic. Wolf, I was gonna make a joke about my dislike for Titanic, but then I saw it was Olympic. Here's the thing. I mean, I know everyone is not a fan of Titanic, which of course is fine. You know, you like what you like. You can't help but like what you like. But think about it. If you hadn't learned about Titanic, you would have probably never learned about Olympic or Britannic or maybe even a few other ships, be it ocean liners or warships. Because, I mean, you guys know the story. I've told it a million times where we're in Titanic is what got me into all this ship stuff. So if I had never gotten fascinated with Titanic, I would have never learned about any of these other ships. I would have never cared. Let's see. Wolf says, don't forget about the drum. Yeah, when you're going to the Alabama, you get an added bonus. You get the USS Drum, the Gatto class submarine, which is a sister ship to USS Cavala, which is at the Galveston Naval Museum. And even though they're sister ships, if you look at pictures of both, and you can find them online, they look nothing alike. Cavala received a lot of upgrades that Drum never received. So they look nothing alike at all. Buddy says, I do love the design of the hull of the Titanic and Olympic. I do not like the design of cruise ships. Old ocean liners and warships as well, buddy. I think it's the general consensus of everyone here that older ships look way better than anything modern. There are very, very few modern, be it warships or cruise ships and stuff that can match how amazing these old ships looked. Steve says, Aaron, I'll fly to Hartfield and let you try. Matt, here's a good question. Matt is asking, why do the blades spin in opposite directions? So the outboard propellers both spin in the same direction. The center prop spins in the opposite direction for turbulence. Oh, here's another good one. Buddy says, I've been into Titanic since I was little. Myself too, buddy. I've shared the story on how I got into Titanic, and from there, my fascination with ships just kind of branched out from there. Steve says Titanic. The weed of ships are the gateway drug. Yes, pretty much. Titanic is the gateway drug for ships. That's a great way of putting it. Will says, I like Titanic. My only issue with her is the fact that she is talked about so much that other ships rarely get in the spotlight. Steve says, agreed. Mark and Wolf, truths. Well, and you're absolutely right, Wolf. I agree completely with you on that. I don't. It's a thing that Titanic has become such this big myth, you know. I don't know what other way to put it. And as she's talked about, and you guys have heard me say this before, she's arguably the most famous ship of all time. The only ship that might be more famous than Titanic is the Ark. And you can debate on whether or not if the reasons are appropriate or good, but that's just the way things are. And what's funny is she overshadows a lot of ships, but in some ways, at least when it comes to like military vessels, I would argue that at least in the United States, Arizona overshadows a lot of ships, and rightfully so, because we know what happened to that ship. And if anyone who lives in the United States, you go into Hobby Lobby, the two ships that you're going to see in the model section every single time you go into Hobby Lobby, I'll give you a guess: Titanic and the Arizona. Wolf, I quite like the look of modern warships, but still they are nothing in comparison to the classics. Most certainly right. Steve says, wait, are you sure? The outer screws should have opposing turns. I am fairly certain the outboard propellers turn in the same direction, Steve. That's the way I've always understood it, is that the outboard propellers spin in the same direction and the center prop spins in the opposite direction. If you want, by all means, fact check me on that, because I don't want to give out wrong information. So if you want to fact check me on that, please do and let me know. Mark says outboard props spin opposite of each other. Okay, you guys could very well be correct. I might be remembering it differently. Steve, and in many cases, fake news on Titanic. Have you guys noticed, and I know a lot of you guys are on a different ship groups and whatnot on Facebook, and I blissfully have seen all the BS crap about the switch theory. I've not been seeing it as much the last few months. Have you guys noticed that too? Let's see. Aaron says the Love Boat is very famous too. Will she soon be making another run, Aaron? Wolf, Missouri is pretty popular as well. Well, as you guys know, Missouri was always, Big Mighty Mo has always been my favorite battleship. BB-63, because of her significance as well, she is arguably, I would still say, as far as like American warships, I would say Arizona is probably the most popular American warship, and Mighty Mo would probably be number 2. What do you guys think about that? Karen says, I think it's because no one really knows what actually happened to it because there's so many stories about her. Well, the thing about it, Age Forgotten, welcome and thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you coming by and hanging out with us for a few minutes. I hope you have a great weekend. Let's see. Wolf, I heard a lot about the Texas when I was little, but I don't know how popular she is outside of the state she was named after. Um, Not very, Wolf. Oh, look, Aquitania. Not very, to be honest with you. I mean, among ship nerds like us, of course, she's well known, and all the fun facts about her or her service history. But I would say in more like the general public outside of the state of Texas, I don't think she's all that well known, which is unfortunate. Mark also says, yes, rarely see the switch theory. Thank God. Will says, I agree with you. Mighty Mo and Arizona are both extremely popular. Uh, Buddy says, what game is this? This right here is World of Warships, Buddy. The Olympic footage was made by one of my subscribers, and he's in my Discord channel. His name is B. Milan, and he made that model of Olympic from scratch in a game called Simple Planes, and he actually recorded that footage for me as well to show on the channel. He's also created USS Texas in that game. He created Titanic and some other ships. Let's see. Wolf says, I'd also say Bismarck is pretty popular. I probably so. As far as thinking about it in terms of an American, and looking from at foreign ships, as far as like warships, there's like three that come to mind instantly. Bismarck would come to mind. Yamato comes to mind, and Hood would come to mind. Yeah, Mark Aquitania. Yep. Yeah. So yeah, Wolf says Yamato as well. Aaron, of course. Aaron, yes. The Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. Yes. Buddy needs a Discord link. Steve, are you still here? Steve, if you are, can you post the Discord link? Did not. I guess I should. I probably need to figure out a way where we could just have that up permanently. Okay, here we go. Steve's got some info for us. Let's see what Steve's got for us. Titanic had 3 propellers, one on the port and one on starboard. They protruded slightly from the sides. These were counter-rotating, clockwise, counterclockwise. So there you go. Appreciate you looking that up for us, Steve. I always thought both outboards spun in the same direction. Yes, Steve, from my Discord, if you don't mind. Oh, well, never mind. Buddy doesn't have Discord anyway. So, yep. Let's see. Wolf says USS North Carolina BB-55, the showboat. I know. Was it? And I always forget this. Was it Max that went to the North Carolina earlier this year or last year? And he let us show some of his photos from his visit to the ship on the live stream. Yes. Age forgotten. Susan, referring to Susan Gibbs, wore appropriate black on the day of the signing. So I know she was mourning, and he's referring. Excuse me. They're referring to the ceremony where the Big U was officially handed over to Okaloosa County. Yep, it was her grandfather's legacy. Yep, William Francis Gibb. Steve says it helps to have Discord. I think the link will take you to download the app. Yeah, it's definitely good. Everyone, if you decide you want to get it, buddy, everyone you see here is in the Discord, with the exception of an Age Forgotten, and I think and Karen's not in it. For the most part, it's a pretty chill. It's a small community. It's pretty chill. We don't have a whole lot of drama, thank goodness. I'm quick to clamp down on drama. I have Steve and I were actually talking about this the other day privately. I have a pretty low tolerance meter when it comes to drama and BS. I can get a little band happy when that stuff starts happening. American Loyalist is here. Welcome, Loyalist. I know you are a big fan of the Big U. We opened up the live stream talking about the latest news on the Big U. Wolf, the story of North Carolina using her anti-aircraft armament is always a fascinating one. It most certainly is. So I forget the small details. But essentially, North Carolina was in a battle, obviously World War II, and I forget, again, all the small details, so I apologize. But essentially, North Carolina came under aircraft fire, and she threw up a barrage of anti-aircraft fire that was... There was so much of it and so intense, the ship essentially engulfed itself in smoke from the anti-aircraft guns. And another ship, I think it was a carrier, and I forget which one it is, radioed into the Carolina and asked her, "Are you afire?" Because that's how much smoke came up from her guns. They thought she was actually on fire, but she was not. Let's see. Americans' rumored date of departure for Norfolk is the 25th. I've heard December, but I've not heard an exact date. Ozzy wants to fire the potatoes. Let's see. Aaron, that's what I hear too. So welcome, Ozzy. How have you been, Ozzy? Ozzy says, "How about them Cowboys?" Well, I hope your Cowboys are doing better than my Saints, because my Saints are they're down in the dumps this year. Wolf says, "I believe it was the Enterprise," and I think you are right on that, Wolf. I'm pretty sure. Wolf says, "We don't talk enough about her on the channel." The Enterprise or the North Carolina, Wolf? No, not November 25th, Steve. I have heard December is when the ship is going to be leaving for Norfolk. Ozzy, the Starship, and her. Well, we might, if we'll have to put together something. Maybe one week we can do a feature on the Enterprise, not the Starship Enterprise, although I am a huge Star Trek fan, just so you guys know. So if we ever want to do something on like fictional ships, I guarantee you the USS Enterprise and Star Trek, Kirk's Enterprise, would definitely be featured. American Loyalists, any hope the Nimitz can be saved? I don't think that's going to happen, Loyalists, mainly because something to do with the fact that she's a nuclear-powered vessel. There are no nuclear-powered vessels serving as museum ships that I'm aware of, and I think it's something to do with that as to why they would not keep her, although it would be amazing. I mean, who wouldn't want the opportunity to go on the Nimitz? I mean, I sure would. But I have a feeling that would probably not happen. American says December is the deadline to be removed. Correct. Steve says NCC 1701, no bloody A, B, C, D, or E. I don't know, Steve. NCC 1701 and 1701A, I would be completely fine with those. There's actually NCC 1701, when it came out, the refit in the movies, that's my favorite look of any Star Trek ship. And A looks exactly like her. So let's see what Aaron's got. On Friday, October 25th, the USS United States will leave the city of Philadelphia, her home for nearly 30 years. Let's see. On Friday, October 25th, no, let's do this. On Friday, October 25th, 2024, the USS United States will leave the city of Philadelphia, her home for nearly 30 years, never to return. Aaron, where have you heard this from? Because I've not seen anything about October. All I've heard was that she's got to be out by December. Let's see. Wolf at USS Enterprise CV6. Enterprise is so legendary, they are building a new carrier named after. Well, there's been multiple carriers named Enterprise. In fact, we're talking about Star Trek. In Star Trek 4, and I forget which one, but there's USS Enterprise is in Star Trek 4. Any update on when they're moving her? Referring to the Big U, no, American, that's, as far as I know, it's December. Now, if it's October 25th, I would like I want some verification on that. Not that I don't believe you, Aaron, but I've not seen or heard that anywhere. So I definitely want some verification on that. Let's see, Wolf, if several non-nuclear powered supercarriers couldn't be saved, and sadly, I doubt they could save a nuclear powered one. Yeah, that's my understanding as well. Steve, the refitted Constitution class, technically Enterprise class, the A. Yes. Mark says her D-Day is in December. Well, D-Day itself is in December, and I've been thinking about what to do with that. I would love to get someone who, like a real historian or expert on World War II or on D-Day specifically, to come on and talk with us about D-Day. What do you guys think about that idea? Let's see. American, I might be going to the Yorktown in South Carolina next summer. I have not been to the Yorktown. But also, American, you want to check out USS Laffey at the same time, because they might, I don't know if they're part of the same museum or not, but they're like right there next to each other. So USS Laffey is the ship that wouldn't die. Read up on USS Laffey. In fact, I know Wolf is here. Wolf, drop us some facts on USS Laffey. I know you know. Steve says it was actually USS Hornet of CV-12. Okay. She subbed for a nuclear vessel. Wolf, we got really close to having Saratoga preserved, but the city that had her ended up using the funds on a football stadium. Is that an NFL stadium, Wolf? Or they just needed a new high school stadium? You know, give me some information on that. Aaron says, have you heard USS John F. Kennedy CV-67 may be going back into service in 2025? No, Aaron, I have not heard that. That would be I'd have to look. I'm not too familiar with that particular ship. That's not the one that's like rusting away somewhere, is it? There's one carrier out there. It's not a museum ship. I think it's there. It's going to be scrapped, and it's just really just rusting away. I don't know how else to put it. I can't imagine them putting a ship back into service once they take it out. It's so rare when that actually happens. Buddy says, we are under attack. Do not worry, buddy. The showboat here, BB-55, can more than hold her own. Here we go. Wolf's got us some USS Laffey facts right here. She is the last of the Allen M. Sumner class destroyers and was hit several times by bombs and kamikazes, and they could not sink her at all, and hence her name. Her nickname is the ship that would not die. Wolf says, no way John F. Kennedy would be brought back into service. She's an outdated carrier from the 60s, and she's just rusting away. Yeah, that was my understanding as well. Steve, I heard explain is that the Department of Defense is not wanting to risk the contamination liability. Well, they are making a new carrier with the same name, though, I believe. Yeah, so here we go right here. The standing rule is no nuke ships to become museum ships. And that was always my understanding of it as well. Let's see. No, we were asking about that NFL. Was that an NFL stadium? Will says, I also believe the city used the funds for an NFL stadium, but what city is it, Wolf? Do you remember what city it is? And he says, we do have nuclear powered submarines as museums. Which ones exactly? The only submarines I know of that are museum ships are non-nuclear. That would be a great question, guys, to pose to Tim Nesmith when he comes on. Again, he's Tim is with the USS Kidd Museum. He's going to be joining us 3 weeks from today. So if you guys want, be sure to get some questions ready for Tim. And we will be able to ask him any questions we want, and we can ask him about other ships besides the Kidd as well, although we're going to mostly be talking about Kidd. But he does a lot of these museum ships coordinate a lot with each other, and they communicate a lot with each other. So he may be able to answer some questions about some other museum ships, but predominantly, of course, the discussion is going to be 99.9% about Kidd. That's why we're bringing him on. Wolf, I can't remember, saw it in a video a few months ago and mentioned that one of the reasons why Saratoga wasn't preserved. Matt says there are museums that feature nuclear-powered submarines, including USS Nautilus and the submarine Growler. Okay. And Wolf's saying the same thing. Steve says, yeah, that became a museum decades ago. Yeah, I'm... oh, look at that. We're going to close out by looking at some footage of the New Orleans here. So yeah, guys, don't forget. Mark down on your calendars. Friday, November 1st. Same time, 7 o'clock, Friday evening. Tim Nesmith with the USS Kidd Veterans Museum is going to be joining us. You can think of some questions that we can ask him. I'm gonna, of course, be coming up with my own questions, and gonna find some footage of the ship and some photos of the ship, and he can probably, knowing Tim, he'll probably be able to tell us exactly what the ship was doing at that very moment. I mean, his knowledge of the ship is amazing. All right, so guys, we're oh, hold on a minute, guys. Hold on. What do we have here? Aaron has given us a super chat. Aaron, thank you so much. $10 for a super chat. Aaron says, thanks for the stream. Sorry, I had a few beverages. Aaron, you have all the beverages you want, my friend. You go right for it. As you know, usually after the stream, I tend to maybe have a beverage or so myself, you know. And actually, I did not. I need to go to the store and do that. I've not bought any. Guys, show Aaron some love. Appreciate that so much, Aaron. Let's see. Yep. So we're about 2 minutes away. Steve says, James, I might have a few specific questions for Tim if it's possible. Yes, yeah, definitely. Like I said, he's not going to answer any questions about like ocean liners and stuff. It's going to be strictly museum ships, and again, 99.9% is going to be Kidd related. That's why we're bringing them on. So if you guys got any USS Kidd questions, jot them down somewhere. You know, take some mental notes, and I'm sure he will be more than happy to answer any questions that you guys have about Kidd. You know, I try my best to be as educated on the ship as much as possible and answer you guys' questions, but I can't come close to his knowledge. There's no way. I just can't do it. So guys, we're gonna go ahead and call it a wrap here. Before we go, as always, I'm going to run through the content schedule. Our weekly 1 hour live stream is every Friday at 7 o'clock U.S. Central Time. Our video of the week comes out every Friday morning at U.S. Central Time. Our random video shorts of the day are Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. And stick around. Keep an eye on the channel tomorrow, guys. Chances are pretty good that I may do a live on location stream tomorrow. I'll tell you guys what it is. I will be at the Rougarou Festival tomorrow, and every year they do a Halloween costume contest, and I'm thinking of going live for a little while during that Halloween costume contest. So, you know, make sure you've got notifications turned on for the channel in case that's something you'd be interested in seeing. Let's see. Yep, everyone says awesome stream. Yep, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys as always. And yep, that's all I got for you guys this week. So until next week, you guys know the drill. As always, drive safely.